Andromeda's beating us up so bad right now. Like our ROAS for our ads went from about 20 to 35 return on ad spend last year to about 2 right now. So it's driving me crazy, but we do have a plan. But first, if you're new here, my name is Gerald, and I'm just the dad trying to make it big for them and for him. And I made close to 7 figures in 2025 running the unsexiest business on earth. And I'm sharing our road to our first $1 million year with you guys so you can skip the learning curve and know exactly what to do, and more importantly, what not to do. And I'll introduce you to my ads guy. He's been significantly impactful in everything that we achieved last year. So I'm gonna have him explain what we did last year and what we're changing this year. Now, just a heads up, this part of the video is gonna be super technical and possibly boring, but it's a great way for me to show you how I deal with team members that are halfway across the world and how we conduct meetings and strategize on the ads. So if you wanna kind of pick my brain, because I've seen some people in our short form videos asking about how to do ads, how to increase our reach and all that. This is basically how we do it on the ad side of things. But if you're not interested in seeing the behind the scenes and the technical side of conducting work here in Merge Studio, we have chapters here in this video, and you can just skip over to the next part of the video. But here we go. All right, Carlo. So how did we do our ads last year that got us to 35 ROAS?
So last year, we got the huge ROAS based on our ad strategy. So our strategy is simple. We choose our ad critics on what's performing well on the social. For example, we post on Instagram, we post on Facebook, then it performed well. So we choose it to run it as an ad.
All right, so basically what he's trying to say is that we will use, or we still do use, our social media platforms as our testing space, like our lab space, where we post content there. If it goes what we call DTF viral, which is, we don't want to go viral because, especially in the beginning of the year when our printing capacity was about 500 linear feet per day across 3 printers, and then when we added the new printer, that's another around 500, so we doubled it with that. So we didn't want to go viral because, you know, that would lead to a lot of good sales, but also, well, a lot of instant sales, but also a lot of people are going to get disappointed. The reviews are going to come in complaining about our turnaround and all that stuff, and you know, that's just going to cause a lot of problems. So the goal was to get like DTF viral. We call it DTF viral, which is about like maybe 10 to 25,000 views with shares and comments and all that. So we choose from those posts that go DTF viral, and we use those as our ad creatives. All right, continue, Carlos. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So thank you for that. So yeah, from our strategy, we also operate on the ad level. So whether we will run, for example, one ad that ran on that went viral on the social, for example, Instagram, then we will run it as an ad with one ad copy, with one title and headline, and from that we will test if it works out, and if it does not work out, we will kill the ad, something like that. But if it performs well, like give us around for example 10 ROAS, something like that, to 35, we will keep it and we will optimize the budget for that.
All right, so that all worked out last year. Basically, we would choose our organic content, whatever, you know, takes off there. We use them as our ad creatives, and then we just create one headline and one description and run that. But with the new Andromeda update, Andromeda doesn't like that. So, like, what's our statistics? What's our stats right now?
So our stats right now, I think the ROAS is quite low, and the
What's low? What's low?
Right.
Like, be honest for the video.
Do you want me to share my screen?
Yes.
Alright.
Yes, do it. Do it. We're going to be very transparent with everyone.
So I'm gonna share my screen.
So the summary of this, he's going to show you the data, but the summary is that we're sucking at ads right now.
Yeah. So right now, we have 2 active ads. As you can see, the strategy campaign and the best GTF campaign. And from our standpoint, we can see that yeah, we're converting with one ad, but the other ad that's recent on the Andromeda update only got 6 conversions.
All right, so you see that? I don't know if you can see that there. Let's see if you can. I hope this is clear. So, how long have we been running the best DTF campaign?
So for the best ETF campaign, actually this is an old ad from
Okay,
last
but
year, but it,
but the 186 purchases, that's from this January, right? So as you can see, there are cost per result there, meaning
yeah,
for every purchase that a customer makes, we basically spend $5.70. But for the other one, the new one,
yeah,
it's
it's very expensive.
it's very expensive. It's $15. And then what's our return on ad spend? Do we have that?
Yeah, we can actually see it. So the return on ad spend. So for the best ETF campaign, it's around 14, and the strategy is around
Okay,
4.
so we're good with a strategy campaign, and that's the static ad, right?
The the strategy campaign is the video. The best ETF campaign is the stat.
Oh, the best DTF campaign is the static. It's expensive.
No, it's
Oh, that's the return on ad spend. Okay, my bad.
it's the
So the ROAS is how much money we make per dollar spent. So for this one, we have a 14 ROAS, and show them what that ad creative looks like. It's a super simple ad too, but it has some social proof as why. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but it has a shirt, so it shows you what our product looks like. It has our trophy, and it has our pricing, which is $3 per square foot, right? And it's a super simple ad with some very good, really targeted copy. So that's working, but the other one's not. Can you show us what the other one looks like? Okay, so it's this one right here. And it's just an emotional trigger campaign. It's still getting some engagement. It has like 70 comments and whatever likes, but likes and comments don't pay the bills. So, but yeah, we're changing it up based on the Andromeda update. So, what are we going to be doing now, Carlo?
So right now, because of the Andromeda update, we need to change our strategy as well. So now Meta favors a lot of testing. Yeah, we need to treat it with a lot of ad creative, ad variation, ad copy. Yeah, we need to like double down on those ads that perform well. And while saying it, we need to first uh, test it in what they call ad lab. So we have now something like an experimentation phase for every ad that you will run, and uh, on that testing phase, we will now optimize our ads on the ad set level, not on the ad level. So last year we're operating on the ad level, but right now we will operate on the ad set level, which will divide the ads on multiple things. So it's no longer fixated on one ad created like a lead. So that will unique strategy at our cable us because on what the audience will love.
I'm laughing because Carlo likes to like be long-winded about these things and like explain everything in detail, because that's his technical side, that's his expertise. Is why. But what he's trying to say is, we're gonna set up our ads the way that Andromeda likes it, which is with experimental ad sets. And then within these ad sets, we're gonna have like 3 different ad categories. We're gonna have some like lifestyle stuff. We're gonna have product features, and then we're gonna have maybe some emotional triggering campaigns. When I say emotional triggering, not the negative emotions like hope core and all that stuff. Because you do need that if you're going into business. You have to be hopeful and optimistic about things, right? So we're hoping that will resonate. But at the ad set level, we're going to be plugging in like 5 or 10 different ad creatives. Some of them are going to be video, some of them are going to be static, like pictures. And then we're going to put in 5 to 10 different descriptions and 5 to 10 different titles or headings. And then just let Andromeda figure out what combination of those three, the ad creative, the heading, and the description, what combination of those three are going to be the most effective. So it's going to mix and match it. And then for each ad set, we're just going to allot a budget, like for the whole ad set, not per ad, you know. So that's what we're going to do and see. And we're going to see if that works or not. So you need to subscribe and follow so you don't have to do your own testing. Just let us do that. And then if it works, then just implement it. Right, Carlo?
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, Carlo's super technical about these things, and he's like really smart about ads. He spends all his time figuring out ads and all that. So that's a great insight from him of what we need to do. Well, we're going to talk details and all that stuff, and that's just going to be boring stuff for you. Or is it going to be boring? Let me know in the comment section if you want to eavesdrop on our like strategy conversations and all that, because I don't want to bore you to death, you know. And by the way, one of the things that we had to do was come up with photos for different shirts. And can you show those shirts, Carlo? And these are all Merch Studio shirts that we're using for our social media anyways, like for our pressing videos that we do. If you haven't seen those are pretty much our proof of our ability to print good quality DTF, and you can find them either in our TikTok here or our Instagram here. All right, so that was a good productive meeting, but like right now our click-through rate is 1.43 on the more successful ad and about 0.4 on the not so good ads. Both of them are super low. And I think it's because, number one, the market is filled with a lot of printers. I mean, this is a very easy business to get into. It's a hard business to grow, but it's an easy business to get into. So there's a lot of people that are doing their DTF in the garage, and I've got nothing bad to say about that because we started ours in here too. You know, like I said, that's our vent system. It's still there. Yeah, we started in the garage too 5 years ago. And number two, I think we need to refine our targeting, like who our target audience is, because, you know, not everyone wants premium quality DTF. Not everyone needs that VIP customer service that we're providing. And so our prices are the way that they are because our overhead is also higher. We have dedicated customer service people, and we provide like tips and inspo in our Instagram and TikTok. And we do YouTube videos like this, and all these things cost money, you know. So I'm not doing everything on my own. I've got a staff that does these things for me, like editing, and we have to have a way to pay for them. And this whole social media stuff, we actually don't need it anymore, because once we've adjusted to Andromeda, that we should be okay just posting ads on Meta. But, you know, I kind of enjoy doing this. I used to be a teacher, if you didn't know yet. And I like teaching. I like sharing the things that I know and that I learn. And this is a great way to do that. It's an expensive way to do it, but this is like my passion project. You know, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and all that. Those are my passion projects. And hopefully I can figure out how to make money using these social media platforms in the future. But even if I don't, you know, it's okay. The important thing is that I'm learning skills and I'm doing experiments, and I'm sharing that all with you so that you'll be able to implement things that worked for me and avoid the things that are just going to cost you money and time. But a very important question that I asked myself as I was going through this was, why am I even putting myself through this? You know, this is emotionally consuming, time consuming. It takes money to learn things and to try things out. Was $900,000 in revenue last year not enough for me? And if you're in DTF printing, you know what the profit for that looks like. Am I doing this because I just want more toys? Is it all about greed and just wanting more all the time? If you want to understand the mindset that's making me want to scale this up to 7, maybe 8 figures this year, then watch this video. Who knows? This might be the mindset unlock that you need.